Hi everyone, I'm Ammira and I'm a third year business administration student studying here at the University of Bath. And in my first ever video, I'm going to give you a little bit of an insight on what it's like to be a Malaysian student here at the university. So why did I choose to study in the UK? Well, first and foremost, I do want to acknowledge how lucky and how privileged I am to even be given the opportunity to study abroad, let alone to actually have options. But to give an answer, I think the main reason why I chose to study in the UK is because of the quality in education that they have here, and I thought that I would get the best out of my education from studying here in the UK. Other than that, the UK is also very diverse, and I knew that I would be able to meet so many people of different cultures. I'll be able to learn a lot, really open my eyes to new experiences. But why I chose Bath specifically, it's because of the many great things I've heard about the city. I knew that it was such a beautiful city to live in, a safe city as well, and at the same time, the university offered amazing courses. One of it was business, and they also had placement opportunities that not other universities offered, and I thought, oh, it would be such an amazing experience to actually have a placement opportunity. And honestly, it was so difficult trying to look for a placement during COVID. There were definitely its challenges. It took time. It was tiring. Sometimes I felt like giving up, but honestly, I'm so grateful I didn't, and I'm so grateful for the support that the university gave me, because I know, especially during COVID, it's so difficult to look for a job, or more to look for a placement as an international student, but the university didn't give up on me, and they helped me so much from the beginning, whether it was checking my CVs, helping with my interviews, or just giving me additional support and reassurance. They did all of that until I managed to get a placement, and now I'm here 3 months in, and it has been incredible, so I'm very grateful. So in terms of part-time jobs, I'm actually an international student ambassador here at the university, and to me at least, it's one of the best part-time jobs that you can get as a student, and I highly recommend everyone applying for it, especially when you're first new to the university, because it's also an amazing way to make friends. But at the same time, it's such a good job to have, because they do pay you, but it's really flexible. So it really depends on your time, because they understand that you're a student and that you're busy, so you work during the times that you're available and you get paid for it, which is always a good thing. Some of the experiences that I've had being an international student ambassador would be helping other prospective students, answering their questions, their queries that they have about university, student life experiences, attending webinars, campus tours, and all that jazz, and it's just been super amazing. So how did the university help us settle? Honestly, the university helped so much, and they gave so much support for the students, especially in the first week. They hosted a ton of events that we could attend, and I highly recommend all freshers to go for it, because that's a really supportive environment, and you just have so much fun, and yeah, it's kind of the memories that you will remember till you graduate. You tend to make your first friends through your flatmates, because those are kind of the first people you see when you enter university. So I highly recommend knocking on your flatmates' door and saying hi, introducing yourself. Normally that's the first way for you to make friends, and as days go by, you tend to just build that bond through cooking together or just seeing each other in the kitchen, especially if you have a group of really lovely flatmates like I did. But other than that, you can also make friends through societies, and if you're Malaysian, I highly recommend joining like the Malaysian Society, because that's where you kind of get your sense of home from. You meet people of like the same country as you, so it's always nice to cook together, have the same food, and just talk about home when you miss it. You also make friends from your course-mates, although course-mates are relatively a bit harder, just because people tend to like leave immediately after classes end, but you tend to make your friends through group projects, or even if you guys sit next to each other in class. In terms of support, the university has been super supportive of us students, especially during COVID. I think they've done honestly the most that they can to make sure that we're reassured and that we're supported. And I have experience as well. I've emailed them several times before, and the university has replied me in less than 24 hours, and just reassuring me, making sure that I'm okay, and making sure that they can support me in any way that they possibly can. And this has been super reassuring as a student, and I'm very grateful. The hardest thing about moving to the UK was just adjusting to the cold weather. That was definitely very new to me. It took me by surprise how cold it could get, because back home in Malaysia we don't have 4 seasons, so that was probably the hardest transition for me. But other than that, it wasn't as bad, and I think it was because I found such amazing supportive group of friends here in the UK that went through it with me, and I thought just transitioning with a group is a lot easier than having to do things alone, so that definitely made the adjustments to the UK a lot easier. So I highly recommend making as many friends as you can, because going through things together is a lot better and a lot easier than going through things alone. But I'm also very lucky because as Malaysian students had a pre-departure session before we came to the UK, and it was kind of hosted by the University of Bath as well as the Malaysian Society, and that definitely helped me a lot before moving here to the UK, because in that session they covered a lot of questions that we had running through our heads, like how is the university, is it easy to find like Malaysian food, Malaysian people, the community, how is it there, and all basically any worries that a normal student would had, they answered it all. So that definitely made the transition to the UK a lot easier for me. So how do I like the city of Bath? Well, I'm not trying to be biased, but I absolutely love living here in Bath, and it has to do a lot with how beautiful the city is. I've been here for 3 years, and it amazes me every time how stunning it is and how amazing the architecture is, and I think everyone who has been in Bath would say the same thing as well. Every time you walk along the streets, you just feel like you're in a different era, because the buildings are so historical and it's so beautiful. But at the same time, Bath is also such a safe place to be in, and I think it's ranked one of the #1 safest cities in the UK, so that's definitely very reassuring as an international student. So that's one of the things that I love about the city as well. It's also very small, so it's easily accessible. You can go from one place to another without even taking the bus. Sometimes you can just walk, and that's probably my favorite part about living here in the city. But other than that, as a Malaysian, I do need to get my groceries, and it's always nice to have like an Asian mart nearby. And Bath has this street where you can get kind of like your Asian goods from. There aren't as many Asian stores as other cities, definitely, because Bath is relatively small, but there's enough for you to get, yeah, you know, your daily essentials or your daily Asian goods that you need. So yeah, that's always very nice.